This video is going to demonstrate how to make buttonholes. I'm making this video specifically for the Tessellated Cardi, which in the button band is using modified TSS. And just for those who want to see modified TSS happening, I'll do just a couple of stitches here. So the only difference between modified TSS and TSS is there's one extra loop that you put your hook through. So this is TSS, where you put your hook there. Modified TSS puts the hook through the horizontal bar at the top of the chain as well, yarn over and pull up a loop. So this is just a swatch for demonstration purposes. Obviously on a cardigan or anything that you're using buttonholes with, you'll probably be working with something bigger. I'm just using a big hook and big yarn just so that you can see it clearly. Now, as I said, the button band on the Tessellated Cardi uses modified TSS. When you're making buttonholes, it doesn't matter what the stitch pattern is that you're using. You just need to be consistent. Now on this row, I'm going to make 2 buttonholes, and it's a 2-row process. The first row will have bind off stitches, and it will form one side of the buttonhole, and the second row will form the other top part of the buttonhole. So this one I'm going to make 3 stitches wide, which will be 1, 2, 3. So all you need to do is bind off those stitches, and we're doing it in the middle of the row. Okay, so I'm inserting my hook as per modified TSS, yarn over, and I draw through those 2 loops, but also that 3rd loop that's on the hook, which gives us a bind off. Repeat again. And one more time. Okay, there's our bind off. Okay, so you have a gap between the stitches, and then we simply carry on with the rest of the row. Like so. I'm going to do a second buttonhole here. So it's a bind off. 1, 2, 3, and then carry on with the rest of your row. Just do my edge stitch here. Okay, I didn't place these in the middle for this demonstration, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's the bind off stitches there. So that forms one side of the buttonhole. Now the top of the buttonhole is, we actually form the first part of it in the return pass on this row. So you need to remember that how many stitches you made in that bind off. So on each of these I made 3. All right, so I'm going to start my bind off just like usual. In this one I need a chain 1 first, yarn over, pull through 2 until we get to the end here. So we're up to the gap now. Now we need to make 3 chains, which will match up with the 3 bind off stitches below. 1, 2, 3. And then we go back to our yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now I'm back to the little gap here, and we need 3 more chains. 1, 2, 3. Then a yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it's the majority of the buttonhole step done. And on the second row, it will just complete it. So I'm still inserting as per mod TSS here, except now I'm going to pick up 3 loops along the chain. Now I've been twisted around a little bit, so I do like to be consistent to use my back bumps there it is. So just do whatever you prefer. My preference is back bumps. I think it looks better. Okay, so there's me picking up the 3 loops in the chain, and then back in that mod TSS. And to get into my back loops, I just have to twist that around a little bit. Look, there's 1, 2, and the third one is hiding. It is under there. There it is. 1, 2, 3. And then we continue our row. And there's our buttonholes there. I'm just going to complete this return pass. Get them all off the hook and out of the way. Now, a few tips. It's not like a buttonhole with sewing with fabric, because you've got a bit of a height here. And look, I'm working in 10 ply or Aran weight yarn here, so it's pretty chunky. On the cardi, you'll be working in 4 ply, which is much thinner. Your buttonholes will be smaller. Now, as I said, I've worked 3 stitches wide. Top and bottom, it's 3 stitches wide, but you've got a little bit of height here. Now, it's a pretty big buttonhole. Okay, we're going to need a big button to go in here without it undoing easily. So what you want to be mindful of, and you might want to test this on your actual piece, is I'd actually make your buttonhole smaller than you think you need it. So if your button is as wide as those 3 stitches, I would probably make a 2-stitch width buttonhole instead. Give it a try and see how it works. I think you will find that it will open up and stretch a bit. See, you can fit rather large. See, look, here's my thumb. I think I can fit both my thumbs through there, okay? So it will stretch and open up as you pop the button through. But then once it's done up, if that buttonhole is too big, it's just going to slip out really easily, okay? So that's my top tip. Make it smaller than you think you need to, and have a practice with the intended buttons. So that's the other thing, is decide on your buttons before you make your buttonhole, so that you can measure your width and test it out once it's made. You might want to do another row on top of this just to test it out. And the other thing that you can do to shrink your buttonhole is to work these slip stitches and these chains a little bit tighter. So on here I've worked fairly consistently, but you can make them a little bit tighter if you wish. Is likely to pull it in a little bit. So again, trial and error. Okay, but yeah, that's buttonholes. See ya.